What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Rivah. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH _ JORDON, and we are going to go ahead and jump right into the video.
There's been an uptick in like masculine women, and I kind of want to get y'all opinion on what y'all think that stems from. Who contributes to it? Like, what is the reasoning for the uptick in just masculine women?
I don't know. I feel like...
Well, I'll answer first. I think that masculine women are the uprising, or whatever it is we're saying about masculine women. It comes with their sense of power, right? Women have been extremely empowered to, do whatever you want and focus on yourself, and you can do every single thing that a man can do. To now it's, you don't even need a man at all. You can do bad literally all by yourself. What do you need him for? Go get a toy, go get a this, go get a that, go to the bank and go make a baby by yourself. You don't need them. We're smarter than them. We're better than them. We can achieve life extremely, better without them. So do you. So it has given women this sense of strength, that whenever they're even around a man, they feel like they have to compete for the manhood, right? Like, who has the bigger cojones, for a lack of better words. And when I'm around you as a man, I have to show mine. Because I'm challenging you to let you know that not only am I better than you, but I have bigger cojones than you do, and I'm gonna challenge that every single chance that I get, because I feel so empowered and I feel so strong.
If it is just them trying to prove themselves, and because they're proving themselves, because they work so hard, I feel like they're almost trying to. It's like catch up to men. Like, men is their competition.
Yes.
So if you really listen to a lot of things that they say, it's exactly what men say. It's just coming from their mouth. And they carrying, the same attitude. They, want to be rough and tough. Can't nobody tell them nothing. They got their backbone. They got so much success behind them. So it's like, it's also part of their ego too.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to balance it and tone it down. Because as men, they want us to be soft and nurturing and caring and listen to them, but then also feel that man masculine role. And it's like they don't know how to turn it on and turn it off, and then they'll also say, well, which I hate, well, only certain men are capable of getting my femininity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That sounds stupid. So, I mean, does only a certain amount of women are capable of my masculinity? Like, am I not supposed to be a real man around certain women or something? Like, how does that even sound? Like, it don't make sense to me. So, yeah, I think there's a big issue with that, and it's just, like I said, I think it just comes from competition. It's a new realm for a lot of women. They've had opportunities and being able to make more money than they've ever made before. So it's a different space to be in, and they feel so empowered. And instead of trying to work alongside of them, they trying to like beat you, or be better at it than you are, instead of, like I said, instead of working together. So I think that's a big issue.
Completely valid, 100% across the board. And I really like what he said about the challenging, but also that the women are trying to be the man. And I said this in a previous video before, that a woman's power is in her femininity. It's in her being feminine. It's in her intuition. It's in all of these things that come from like your womb energy, right? And I always talk about that. And for women, a lot of them, they think that, when they're in their masculine energy and they're challenging the man, like, oh yeah, I'm better than you. I'm better at this than you. I can, anything he can do, I can do better. They're actually relinquishing the power that they do have as a woman. Right? So they're saying that, if there's a lion and a hyena, I have to be a hyena to try and beat the lion. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just knowing that, no, we're different. I have my strength as a hyena, and a lion has the strength as a lion. So they're trying to put on the clothing and the energy of something else because in actuality, they feel that that energy is greater than themselves and they don't like that. So they want to become the exact same thing instead of just being strong and powerful as a woman.
JR, what you feel like contributes to this masculine woman situation?
Can you say the original question again?
Yeah, I presented it like, because he had touched on femininity, and I feel like that's very important that we address that. I feel like there's an uptick in masculine women in this era. And I feel like, what do you feel like is responsible for that uptick?
I just think it's just like society, the whole system that's being put in place. I think it's designed, and it's been designed so that the women are empowering themselves to be equal and to be bigger than man. So I think that's a huge thing, and I think that now women are trying to get to the bag, that they're being programmed, whether it's by the parents or whether it's by society, the information, social media, that they are equal and that they are better than us. So when you have that, I think I was having this conversation like with Kayla, and I think she might have asked me something. And the question is going to come to my mind, but I can't think of about it right off top. But it's just crazy how the world is now, because I think the question she had was that, damn, I can't think of it. I almost want to call her right now to answer that question, because I think it was interesting. But I feel like everything around us is making it this way. Mm-hmm. I think she was saying that back in the day, women depended more on the men for survival, because they didn't have everything that we have now. Right. Now they don't have to do that. Right. You know, they can go and get their own. So I think that raised a good point, and I probably want to segue after we go around to get responses. But ultimately, I just think that the society and the systems and the upbringings in this new modern world, that is the factor in why we are starting to see more masculine women nowadays.
That's a very, very valid point, and as much as it doesn't make sense, and it shouldn't be that because now you have like a sense of your own freedom. I'm just going to use that for an example. You have like a sense of your own freedom, and now you don't need this person as much for your strength, for your balance, for your this, because you can go and get your own job and make your own amount of money and pay your own bills and do all of these things on your own. Now you have no respect for them. Like now there's a lack of respect there. I don't think that that's valid in that thought process, but I understand that being that the world has made it this way, that a lot of women have this sense of thinking, and it makes me think like when other people come from other countries, for example, right? Most of the time it's the man that's going to have to go out and go find work, right? And he's going to have to adapt to everything of wherever he's living. He's going to have to adapt to the language, to the way of life, to the work hustle, to all of these things, and his counterpart, his wife, his spouse, is going to be home with the children, raising the children, and she can still keep her same traditions within the home because she's not going out there to work and to find a way, right? But her respect for him is on high alert. Her respect for him, her trust in him in this new space is not wavering. And to the point that she probably doesn't even want to ever go out there and try to be his equal, because she finds her strength in doing the things that she's doing at home, and she understands the responsibility that she has to nurture, care for, and take care of her family. So it's kind of sad that our over here in this society, that women are like, well, we don't even need you that much, so we don't even respect you. It's almost like, well, damn, because if it wasn't for us paving this way, you wouldn't even have the sense of freedom or the feelings that you have right now.
Right. I think that a lot of women, I think they mistaked equality for being the same. Mm-hmm. I give this example sometimes on the show. I'll say 2 + 2 is 4. 3 + 1 is also 4. Mm-hmm. We don't have to be the same to be equal. Yes. And I think that nature does that for us. It does its job for us, but a lot of people aren't getting that message. They'll say, oh, well, men can sleep around. Why can't women? Mm-hmm. Well, there's something called pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And the truth of the matter is, if you sleep around enough, that's a reality for you. Right. And so you're seeing a lot of women trying to take that narrative. We're equal. We're the same as men. I'm sorry, not even equal. We're the same as men. Yep. And they're taking it all the way home to the point where they end up pregnant, and now you stuck. Because you're not following what's actually real. And the truth of the matter is, we can be equal and not the same at the same time. Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting about it is like you said, we've just gotten to the point where women can kind of even have that freedom. If you talk about like the pill, like the birth control pill that was introduced, that's all innovation from men. So like everything that we have has kind of been innovated by men largely, okay, and what we do as men is pacify women. Women are higher in like in depression and anxiety. They're just naturally just naturally more anxious. So we cook a meal or we go and hunt. We bring back meat, and they go, but what about tomorrow? Mm-hmm. And that's what's kind of built society. They always have a concern, and we are developed to pacify that concern. And the man that pacifies that concern the most by having the most resources is the man that's going to generally get picked. Right. So that interesting dynamic is what has led us to have everything that we have. Mm-hmm. All this stuff, all these conveniences, society in general has been created for women and children by men. Right. And so it's so sad to see so many women think that we don't like women. I'm like, literally our whole existence is to please women. Yes, men get money to largely attract the attention of women. Mm-hmm. Like I'm getting in shape to attract the attention of more women. I don't want, and I think when you get too big, some of them dudes be disappointed when they realize the only men on your comment section when you looking like this is other men talking about, bro, you look good. Like, nobody want to hear that. You want to hear it from women. So, like, it's just such a sad thing to see that so many women have bitten into the narrative that men don't like them and men hate them. When if we're completely honest, the only reason, let's just be real.
Okay, I want to stop right there because he said so much stuff, and I wanted to pause it, but I also wanted him to complete his thought. But right there, he just said a key. He said that so many women have bitten into the narrative that men don't like them. But the only people that fed that narrative to women is other women. It's other women saying that, we have to protect ourselves because men are not here for us and men don't like us and don't trust men and, don't live a life where you're relying on a man because they're never going to have your best interest at heart. All of that information is being regurgitated over and over from women to other women to other women to other women. So it's women that are saying that, and men are like, what are you talking about? Like, we're looking for a wife. We want to be married. We want to have kids. What do you mean? Oh, well, you're just trying to control me, and you're just trying to, you're narcissistic. You're moving the goalposts. You're doing, like, these are the same comments that we hear all the time from women against men, when men are like, what are you talking about? You guys are the ones who don't want this, quote unquote traditional lifestyle, and we do. But if we say that we want a traditional marriage, if we say that we want a traditional relationship, you're saying that we're trying to, compete with you, or that we're jealous of you because you can be successful outside of the home, and we just want to, bring you down. It's a crazy mindset.
It was like when we talk about women are like, oh, at some point men were allowed to hit their wives with a stick that was the width of a thumb or something like that. Well, that rule was taken away because enough men said that, well, that's kind of ridiculous and we don't want to do that, so we're not going to do that. Right. It wasn't women in the streets that are, making us do these things. It's because men naturally want to do what's best for women. That's what we strive to do. And I think now that we have things like the pill, it gives women a little bit more liberty, because before that they didn't have that liberty. As a woman, if you were sleeping around and you got pregnant, you felt the consequence of that. There wasn't no pill, there wasn't no plan B's to get you out of that situation. Right. So we kind of criminalized being promiscuous as a woman. That's why it was criminalized. It wasn't criminalized because of we just don't like women and we want to suppress women's sexuality. It was criminalized because you can actually going to have the repercussions that come with that if you sleep around with men, because there is no birth control pill. Right. It was criminalized because things like syphilis was sweeping through all of Europe and killing hundreds of millions of people. These STDs, and there was no way to cure that. There were no ways to remedy that. So that's why it was demonized. And a lot of women kind of go with the narrative that, oh, men just never liked women and we drugged them throughout society. Like we just, and they didn't enjoy our company. And I'm like, a lot of everything that what we did is for women. Even if you look at marriage, a lot of women will say, oh, that had nothing to do with women. But at least those men were expected to be consistent. Because y'all making the rules yourselves now, but what has that gotten? Single motherhood rate.
And to just to go off of what he just said about birth control and like contraceptives and stuff like that, like when it comes to having children as women, there is no there is no bad situation besides that you're gonna have to raise that child on your own, right? But regardless, like there's always all these incentives, like child support, like you can definitely get child support, or now women are in these positions where they can make more decisions on what baby is going to be born and what baby is not. So that's not even the biggest thing. Like when it comes to sleeping around, like a baby is the least. Like I love the fact that he talked about like, stuff that can happen to you, right? And that can affect you for the rest of your life that people don't talk about. Even though people are all out here, saying like, oh no, women can do the same things as men. Let's just go out here and just give our bodies away. Even though, as I say all the time, that we are the takers, men are the givers. It's a completely different dynamic.
Dependent on the government. And we want to believe this boss babe narrative, but the average woman makes about $40K. Mm-hmm. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? If you got a child with that, you ain't doing that well for yourself. And I think that it goes into another sphere of, I think that corporations are also feeding into this a little bit because it helps to have people isolated. Mm-hmm. Strong families don't go into the metaverse. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, this is another thing. Strong families aren't on Instagram all day. Mm-hmm. A strong wife that's traditional isn't on Instagram all day. So True. Facebook ain't getting the money that they want to get. So I think that you kind of feed these policies and these lobbyists go into
I think that's true. And at the same time, I think it's just something that's just not as fun, and it seems boring to a lot of people too. Because if you look at places like TikTok, like there is a lot of, and I feel like a lot of moms and mothers and wives are on Facebook too. But Instagram, maybe not so much. But like if you look at places like on TikTok and on Facebook and stuff like that, there is a lot of mom help groups. There is a lot of like happily married, like women who are on those two platforms that are sharing advice, sharing cleaning advice, sharing cooking advice. But is that something that a lot of people are going to widely search for if they're not in that mindset or not in that space? No, they want to look at what's fun. And what's fun is, being out here, being in the streets. Like it's the drama. It's the stuff that's like on TV. Like that's the stuff that people are more widely attracted to.
Certain spheres, because we know if we want more marriage, let's make it more balanced for men and women. Let's make it so that men can at least have some security, so we ain't just getting taken advantage of in every sense of the word. 90% of the time, women are getting custody of the children, even though we are equal. Yes. If we're all equal, why are 90% of the time when the woman is less financially stable, is she getting the kids? You know what I'm saying? So, it's obviously biased towards them, and I think that we don't look at that in policy because it doesn't benefit the people that want to make the money. You know what I'm saying? And I be talking about this sometimes on the show too. A lot of people don't know, but the state gets to collect 60% of every dollar of child support. So when guys go, well, I'm on child support, I take care of my kids, I understand that the state gets that money. So everybody is working against you. Yep. Everybody is working against you. Yep. And if we wanted stronger families, we would look into some of these policies, but we want people to be separate because independent women buy more stuff because they want to attract them, they want to show off to their friends. They want to show that they're happy on social media. So I think that there's so many. I think it's a multifaceted problem. I think there's so many components to it, and we're so deep in it now that it's like, man, we look up and because we didn't even know it was a competition as men. Like we looked up in 2010, 2011, the manosphere started coming in. We started like, dang, like yeah, they're kind of right. Like I have conversations with women and I can't even get a word in. I got this girl that's 5'5" yelling in my face. I'm a grown man. I can lift her and flip her up on the side of her head, but she knows that she has protection through the law, and so that's the only reason she getting bucked. The only reason she in my face is because she knows that she can bully me, because if I do anything to protect myself, I'm gonna go to jail, or other men are gonna step in to protect her, and I'm gonna get beat up. Let's just be completely honest. It's just so much. We've kind of over the years they've slowly taken so much ground in that direction that now we look up and we like, damn, we in a war. Right. Like this is
it's been empowering. It's been empowerment to a fault. It's been that backative to a fault that's actually keeping a lot of these women single. Or in situations that they'd rather not be in, but because everything has lied to them, like, oh, well, if we can get into an argument, I can get in your face and I can scream at you, but if you touch me, you already know it's going to be a problem if I make a phone call, or, I want to be with you, you don't want to be with me, well, now I'm pregnant and you're going to have to, oh, you're moving on? Oh, you're in a new relationship? Okay, well, where's your money at? Because now you need to pay for this baby, because now I'm going to put you on child support. Like, all this back end is promoting this type of masculine behavior. It's promoting this negative energy coming from these women. It's literally promoting it because they know that they're going to get support somewhere.
Oh, like we're competing against women? Like, I thought we were working in cahoots. That's what we thought for all of these years.
That's real.
Next thing you know, you look up and it's just nonsense, man. And I think that when we were in a situation that was supposedly misogynistic, when men actually had expectations for other men to get, if you sleeping with this woman, you better marry her. Shotgun wedding.
Right.
When people would sleep with a person, you better get married, like, because you didn't took it there.
Yep.
That, as a man, that's what you got to do. And at least he had to have consistency. Now that women have a less misogynistic society, I'm seeing worse results for women. Truly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 to 10 years because. And y'all know this is my thing. Y'all, I can talk about it. That's all I talk about. But I just think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 to 10 years, man. And I just hope that we can recorrect, because I think family has more value than just. Yeah, man. Like, and as men, like, when I got married, it changed me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
And I ain't got kids yet, but I would assume that's gonna change me too, because now I have to sacrifice my independence and rely on society.
Right.
I have more of an investment into society now.
Mm-hmm.
Like now I care about what you're talking about, or now I care about Cardi B.
Mm-hmm.
Now I care about the message she's sending to young girls. Now I care about certain things that I may not have cared about as an individual, as a man, because I have that independence. When I have a child, I now depend on society. I have to make society better in order for my kids to have a better life.
Facts.
And like, that's part of the investment that men have in particular when it comes to that. And that's part of the sacrifice that we do. But without that, you just got a bunch of loose cannons. The men that want to sleep with women, they're going to keep doing it till they're 70.
Right.
And they're going to do it in large numbers. And I think that's what we're seeing. So it's just going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting.
I absolutely love this conversation. And I love to see, a panel of men who are mature, right? So they can be completely honest, right? They're just going to tell it like it is, tell it how they feel, and not hold anything back in the conversation. So I absolutely love it. And I think that everybody offered within this conversation valid reasons why we got to where we are right now, right? So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Love you.